with Shanrae.
And welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. All right, we are on week 3, part 2 of Mr. Bean's comedic. It's a comedic. He did this in a comedic way, but his diagnosis for his movie on Netflix, Man versus Bee, his hyperfocus disorder. And he displayed this in a very comedic way. If you ever get a chance to watch it on Netflix, watch it. It is hysterical. Man versus Bee, Mr. Bean's hyperfocus disorder. Hi, Peaches. How are you? So good evening. We're going to go on and get into this. Let me start with my website disclaimer. All right, here we go. Please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself are subject to limitations of current and available material, but the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information does change frequently, and it is recommended that you will consult another physician, another specialist, and or religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness. All right, so let me move this on. I am a Christian counselor. I acquired my degrees from Ashford University. My primary degree is psychology. My secondary degree is organizational management. My great passion is bringing healing to people who have been through traumatic and stressful experiences. And when we experience trauma or severe life stressors, it isn't uncommon to feel like, our lives are starting to unravel. So I help clients who include children, adults, and families to find healthy perceptions of themselves and to strengthen their relationships so they can know themselves as peaceful, complete, whole, and safe. All right, so let me show you my scripture for the month. And it's actually going to be my scripture for the rest of the year. I'm going to open this up and then let me close it back. All right, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23. From the New International Version of the Bible, it says to be made new in the attitude of your minds. So let's move this on because I ran a little over on Tuesday night. I don't want to do that tonight. So our first key point for tonight is hyperfocus disorder and friendships. The second one is the ADD hyperfocus friendship paradox. The third one is taking a look at how ADD and hyperfocus can make us make people good friends. Okay. Number 4 is the conclusion, and number 5 is I want to point out some celebrities that have been diagnosed with ADHD hyperfocus disorder. Let's go on and get started, guys. This is an open platform. If you have any questions, I will stop. I will pause and answer your questions. If you have any life scenarios, if you want to share them, I will pause and I will highlight that as well. Again, this is an open forum. This is about like I said, I'm a Christian counselor. So this is about me. I strongly, I'm that half glass full type of person. I strongly believe that everybody can overcome their negative situations. You just got to put a little work in it, but everybody can overcome it, and that's just I really believe that. All right. Hyperfocus disorder and friendships. As you can see here, I'm highlighting Mr. Bean's movie, Man versus Bee. If you get a chance, check it out on Netflix. It is hysterical. Hyperfocus disorder and friendships. So it's talking about forming and maintaining friendships can be challenging for anybody. But with a person with hyperfocus disorder and ADHD, they experience symptoms like oversharing. They have trouble listening, social anxiety, canceling plans a lot of times, very, very iffy, I'm gonna do it, and then next thing you know, they didn't change their mind, cancel plans, and then also forgetting like important dates and different things like that. So these difficulties can sometimes lead to feelings of rejection and loneliness. And of course, if you think about, put yourself in someone's shoes that is experiencing that, you'll understand, that feeling of loneliness, rejection, those type of things. So let's move on. The ADHD hyperfocus friendship paradox. And it says how it affects social skills. All right. So the symptoms that can make it hard to make and keep long-term friendships. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about this. And it's just like an overview from Tuesday. And then we're going to move on to how people with hyperfocus disorder and ADHD, how they make very good friends. All right. So when you have hyperfocus disorder and ADHD, making friends again sometimes can feel impossible. For people unfamiliar with the disorder, understanding that their behavior can be a bit of a challenge, so they might be a little thrown by the symptoms that they have, or they may think that avoiding they may think that people with these disorders, they avoid taking accountability when they make mistakes, and it does come across as that. It really does. It could be pretty lonely to feel this way, especially if the results the results are feelings of rejection. And I'm gonna slow down because I'm starting to stutter, but I'm trying to stay within this 30-minute guideline. So I'm looking. We got 7 minutes. I'm in 7 minutes in. All right. So as a result, individuals with ADHD and hyperfocus disorder, they often struggle to maintain deep connections with friends and with relationships. And the therapist said that when she said our ADHD hyperfocus symptoms can create obstacles that both lead us and our friends that need to overcome. And it's true, need to overcome certain things. So let's revisit some of the traits associated with hyperfocus and ADHD that can affect how friendships are navigated. Number one, sometimes they overshare. And what they mean by that is they overshare with people that they should not overshare with. Or maybe they overshare with people that they feel like they're close to. But you know how that saying is, okay, that's a bit too much information you gave. So that's something that commonly happens with people who have symptoms of hyperfocus and ADD, ADHD. They overshare. Number two, trouble listening to people, to their friends, to their family. They have trouble. And I call it's a processing disorder. So they may hear, they may not totally be listening because they're not really focused in on the conversation. And then if you're not totally listening, then it's hard to process what someone just said to you. Number three, social anxiety. And I'm quite sure after having years and years and years of people kind of disregarding you and saying, I can't, that you too much work. That saying, dealing with you is too much work. Again, people, they start feeling anxious, having social anxiety. Number four, canceling plans at the last minute. So that's coming across as real flaky. And again, people that they're not, they may or may not know about the disorder, but everybody is not patient. Everybody is, some people, they have their limit, of maybe what they want to deal with and what they don't want to deal with. And then number five is forgetting important dates. Okay. Once again. And so, and that tends to be a little heartbreaking. If you're married to somebody or you're engaged with somebody, been in a long-term friendship or relationship with them, and you tell me every year you forget. We're supposed to be besties, or every year you forget my birthday or our anniversary. It tends to get a bit draining, and it's like, okay, overwhelming is, and but again, I'm a half glass full type of person. There's help out there. There are strategies. There are communities. Again, there are therapy out there that can help a person live their best life, be their best version of themselves if they choose to take that route. And it's a choice, All right, so now let's look at how ADHD and hyperfocus can make people like this really good friends. All right, I like to look at the positive. How does this make a person really good friends? All right, so now that we've explored the symptoms that can pose a challenge when forming and maintaining friendships, it's essential to recognize how hyperfocus and ADD or ADHD can provide us with the social skills that actually make us great, or make them great friends. Of course, each person with these diagnoses is different. Every diagnosis is different. It may be in the same vein, but it's different. From the doctor's perspective, she said that she noticed that many of the neurodiverse people in her life share these qualities that make them exciting and supportive people to be around. So number one, they're energetic. Okay, people who have this hyperfocus and ADD or ADHD, a lot of times they're very energetic. Some individuals with ADHD or hyperfocus often have seemingly endless amounts of energy that they're able to channel towards success on the playing field, in school, or at work. They just have the bundles and bundles of energy. Number two, they're spontaneous, being spontaneous. So some people with these two disorders, or these combined disorders, can turn impulsivity into spontaneity. They may be the life of the party, or may be more open and willing to try new things and break free from the status quo. So that's really good, that spontaneity. Number three, being creative and inventive. All right, so living with hyperfocus, ADD, ADHD may give the person a different perspective on life and encourage them to approach tasks and situations with a thoughtful eye. As a result, some with ADHD or these different diagnoses may be inventive thinkers. Okay, let's think about again Elon Musk. He's in this spectrum here. Elon Musk is a very inventive thinker. Oh my. Okay. Who would have thought about a car, driving a car that doesn't require gas? Okay. Thinking outside the box. Okay. And there probably were other people to think about it, but he made it a reality. Okay. So other words to describe them may be original, artistic, and creative. Okay, and those of us that know people or who maybe on that vein with the hyperfocus or the ADD or ADHD, I know you've noticed some very, very creative qualities about them and everything, and music wise, dancing, computer, IT, stuff like that. Okay, number four, being hyper focused. So some people with ADHD, ADD, hyperfocus may become hyper focused according to research. So this makes them so intently focused on a task that they might not even notice the world around them. Okay, the benefit to this is that when given an assignment, a person with these different disorders may work at it until its completion without breaking concentration at all. So sometimes a person with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus needs assistance in harnessing these traits to their benefit, okay? And no different than us. I know I definitely, I'm the type of learner, if I'm a visual learner. If you show me, I have it. I can read it. I can read the directions and go like that. But if I can see a video, no different than, if you direct me that way, I got it. I know I'm a visual learner. Number five says they have unique perspectives. So people with hyperfocus, ADD, ADHD often possess unique perspectives and have a tendency to think outside of the box. So these qualities can be a real asset to friendships, as they present new opportunities in solving problems and in learning and trying new things. That unique perspective. Number six is hyperfocus and special interest. I'm sorry, I need to be moving this along. Okay, here we go. Okay, so hyperfocus and special interest. Although ADHD, ADD, hyperfocus can bring difficulties in maintaining focus, individuals with this condition often experience periods of hyperfocus. So hyperfocus is a state of intense concentration, once again, on a subject that they find interesting or stimulating. Let me look at the time. All right. The ability can make them incredibly engaging as far as a conversation is concerned, leading to genuine connections and shared interest with others who have similar passions. So the theorist said that she has one close friend who got really obsessed with skincare products. She helped her find the perfect routine according to her budget and based on her exact needs. So thanks to this special interest, it was like having a dedicated dermatologist. And she said now she has her, the theorist says she has great skin now. Number 7 says a sense of humor and spontaneity. All right. So many individuals with ADHD have a natural ability to find humor in every situation, in everyday situations, and possess a spontaneous nature that can be refreshing and entertaining for those people that are around them. And so these qualities can serve as effective icebreakers and then help establish rapport and friendships with others who appreciate their sense of fun and adventure. Number 8 says empathy and sensitivity. So, contrary to common misconceptions, individuals with ADD, ADHD, and hyperfocus can be highly empathetic and sensitive to the emotions of others. And this emotional attunement can build deep connections quite quickly, allowing them to offer genuine support and understanding to their friends during difficult times. It can also allow us to tune into emotions and be a good listener, especially if we can talk face to face with people. Number 9 says accepting and inclusive. So many people with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus tend to be open-minded and inclusive regarding their friendships. So through their firsthand experiences of feeling different, they may develop empathy for others who have faced similar difficulties or issues with mental health. So this personal understanding motivates them to be a good friend by creating nurturing and accepting environments, forming unique social for these deep connections. Number 10 says maintaining friendships with people with ADD, ADHD, or hyperfocus. So maintaining close friendships, and I'm gonna pause here again for that Adder Plus community. Okay, maintaining friendships. If you're, no man is an island, like I said, but if you want to cultivate more friends, again, I am so excited about learning Adder Plus community. It is a community you can join online, a community specified for ADD, people who have ADD, ADHD, and hyperfocus, anything else that's attached or combined with those disorders. So let's get back to number 10, maintaining friendships with people with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus. Maintaining close friendships can pose difficulties for those diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus. However, once you navigate the difficulties and understand individuals with these disorders, you'll realize that we're fundamentally the same as everybody is the same. Everybody has their own idiosyncrasy, okay? Okay? Everybody doesn't think the same way. It doesn't make you right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and you wrong. It just, that's the way it is. Okay. So if you have a friend with a couple of these, disorders, try to go with the flow and not take things too seriously if you can. If you can. Occasionally, they may unintentionally do something that makes them seem like a bad or neglectful friend. But if you know that their behavior isn't in line with who they are, try to give them the benefit of the doubt. And remember that they don't intend to hurt you. So, just think about the person. You'll know if the person is being malicious or not. Okay, so gently remind them how their words can impact you. Because a lot of times people who have ADD or ADHD or hyperfocus, or they're autistic, or they like that, their filter, they don't really have a filter. So it's okay to gently remind them, to how their words may impact you, so they become a little bit more mindful in the future, and that they can work on their friendship skills. You know what I'm saying? If you can, give a little grace there. Anybody else? It says those, and the theorist says those of us with ADHD try to nurture friendships and relationships with the people that they cherish. Okay, so above all, love your friends for who they are. Include the little quirks that make them unique. After all, life would be dull if we were all the same. Now, again, whether you have ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus, this saying, above all, love your friend for who they are. that goes with anybody. You know, if you're close to somebody, love their character. Now, if there's some things about them that really needs tweaking, if the person is willing to tweak it, then that's a plus. If you're willing to walk the road with them, that's a plus. That's a plus. You know, and hopefully, because most people want the best outcome for the people that they're connected to, the people that they care about. You know, and so, you know, we have to give people grace, period. If you can, then do it. All right, so let's move on to the conclusion. I am almost done. I'm trying to watch this time, guys. Okay, we got 21, almost at 22 minutes. Let's look at this conclusion. So, forming and maintaining friendships can be challenging for people, again, with ADD, due to symptoms such as oversharing, trouble listening, social anxiety, canceling plans, forgetting important dates. These difficulties can sometimes lead to feelings of rejection and loneliness. However, it's important to recognize that despite these difficulties, people who experience these symptoms have so much to offer as friends. And we went over the benefits, okay? And the theorist says our. So she says our unique perspectives, energy, hyperfocus, sense of humor, empathy, and inclusive nature makes us fascinating and supportive people to be around. So the theorist says that while our lives may be chaotic at times, we can still cultivate meaningful connections with those who appreciate and embrace their quirks. You know, surrounding themselves with people who accept and love them for who they are allows them to be authentic without fear of judgment. So it's crucial to approach these relationships with your loved ones with empathy and understanding. By acknowledging the positives that are being neurodiverse can bring, and being aware of the difficulties, and the theorist says we can nurture long-lasting friendships that enrich our lives. So communication and patience play vital roles in navigating these friendships, and as well as appreciating the efforts made by the individuals who actually have the symptoms of, again, hyperfocus, ADD, ADHD. Okay, so the theorist said, let's strive to be for genuine connections and embrace the importance of friendship. She said, let's love and acceptance of our friends with ADHD, hyperfocus for who they are, knowing that their unique qualities contribute to the richness and diversity of their relationships. She said, life would be dull, again, if we were all the same. So let's cherish the positives that the neurodiversity brings while being mindful of the difficulties it may present. And after all, everybody deserves loving and meaningful long-term friendships that make people feel fulfilled and appreciated for who they are. Now, I love the theorist here. I love what she's saying. She says she calls because everybody has a touch of neurodiversity. Okay, I don't think different. I think differently than you. You think differently than me. I love the way she says the neurodiversity, what it brings. Okay, let's move this on because I wanted to show some of the greatest people. Okay, that we know, celebrities with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus. So many people with ADHD, ADD, hyperfocus turn their unique behavioral challenges into well-known success. Athletes may even use the extra energy towards their respective fields. So let's move this along. It says that ADD, hyperfocus, is a neurodevelopmental disorder. We know that it's most often diagnosed in childhood or adolescence. That's a known fact. In a parent report, and let me move on. Says, however, more than half of children with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus continue to experience these symptoms as adults. So it says today around 8 million adults live with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus. Many go on to lead healthy lives with successful careers. Some even become very famous, such as, and I'm going to show a collection of famous people. Number one, Michael Phelps. Y'all know Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is a famous, and they give a whole big story about him, but he's a famous swimmer. Michael Phelps. Number 2 is Karina Smirnoff. She's the Dancing with the Stars. And I don't want to go into, because my time is 26 minutes in. Howie Mandel. Who don't know who Howie Mandel is? Okay. I just love him. Bobby's World. I loved his animation that he did. Bobby's World, the animation. But Howie Mandel. And who doesn't know who he is? Ty Pennington. If you don't know who he is, he's on all of the house on HGTV where they fix up homes and stuff. Ty's been doing this for years. I love me some Ty. I'm going to show y'all some pictures in a minute. I've been watching Ty for years, about 20 years now. Adam Levine from Maroon 5. Okay. He's also been diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus. Okay. Justin Timberlake. Okay. Some of the greatest musicians, Justin Timberlake. Okay. And ADHD. Paris Hilton. Who doesn't know who Paris Hilton is? Okay. Her family, Hilton Hotels, the Hilton Hotel heiress. She has been diagnosed with, she has OCD, ADD. She has all of those things. Okay. And so, okay, I'm sorry. I was reading a little something. Simone Biles. Our gymnast, y'all, Simone Biles. Okay, so she has ADHD, Simone Biles. And look at her. Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister, ADHD. Y'all know her, singer, songwriter, actress, Solange Knowles, entrepreneur. Oh, let me show you this. Hold on. Before I get, because I'm moving this along. I want to show y'all some of these pictures. Let me open this up. So these are some greats. These are some great people who we know, who have these diagnoses, but their contribution to the celebrity world, to the artistic world, has been amazing. So we have entrepreneur Richard Branson. And let me move this on because I want to show y'all some more pictures. Look at them. Oh my goodness. So you have Richard Branson, the astronaut and U.S. Senator Scott Kelly, baseball player Shane Victorino, NFL Hall of Famer Terry Bradshaw, soccer player Tim Howard, actress and musician Zoe Deschanel. Okay, let me move that along. I wanted to show you all some of the greats. Michael Jordan, guys. Did I add him in here? Okay, I probably forgot to add his name in here. Michael Jordan. I forgot to add a couple of people in here. Okay, so, that's why. Okay, so we got will.i.am, actor Channing Tatum. Y'all know who he is, Channing Tatum. Musician Dave Grohl. Politician, commentator James Carville. Journalist Lisa Ling. Oh my goodness. We have some really, really wonderful, wonderful people who have contributed to the actors and actors into the theatrical world and movies. Who don't know Michael Jordan? Okay, so these are all some great people that may have these diagnoses, but they didn't let it stop them. Look at what they've contributed to the world, not just here in America, but to the world. Oh my goodness. All right. So I want to move this along. And I love what the theorist said here. Kimberly Holland. I love what she said. It's just a diagnosis. Let me open this up a little bit. It's just a diagnosis. These celebrities are proof that a medical disorder does not have to be a reason for not living a full, happy life. So, and I'm going to come back in a minute. So these well-known figures as well, as others, many less famous folks have found ways to thrive with ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus. The key to managing the signs and symptoms of ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus disorder is finding a treatment plan that works and sticking with it. And again, cognitive behavioral therapy is a really great tool when it comes to this type of disorder, ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus, because it's hands-on. Hey, CJ, how are you? So see, cognitive behavioral therapy really does work. Because a lot of times it gives you hands-on things to do, assignments. That's what I specialize in, CBT, cognitive therapy. And I'm telling you, it works if you work it. Now I'm going to go back, and I want to pause for a minute. I'm right here. So Michael Lewis is a famous football player. He's the young man with the movie The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, where she played the mom and all of that for him and helped him help zone in. He's he has ADD or ADHD, hyperfocus, if not all contributed all in the same thing. Michael Lewis, and look at what he accomplished, a famous football player. Now I'm going to get serious here. So I'm so glad to have you on tonight, CJ. I want to get a little serious here, and I want to talk to the people that are willing to actually listen. If you are the person that may have the symptoms of ADD or ADHD or hyperfocus disorder, or maybe a combination of the two or the two like that, I'm going to get serious. We see what's happening in the news right now. We've been seeing what's been going on in the news, but we see what's happening in the news right now with Michael Lewis, The Blind Side, there's going to be more coming out about this. It's very evident. It was displayed in the movie. His neuro. Let me get this right, because I love the way this theorist said it. What Dr. Michelle Kimberly, what she said. The neuro underdeveloped issue. So it's apparent. It was broken down in the movie The Blind Side. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And the mom, Sandra Bullock played the mother. She went and she had him tested, and it talked about the weaknesses that he was experiencing intellectually, and then his strengths, the pros and the cons. So the strengths was that he's very strong when it comes to protecting. This was Michael Lewis in the movie. His strengths was him being a protector, but the weaknesses was again cognitively. With the I'm sorry, there's something in the air. Okay. So his weaknesses again. Is that a spider? Hold on. Guys, I gotta get this. I think it's a little spider. I'm gonna grab it. Woo! Excuse me. Okay, it was a little teeny spider. Excuse me, y'all. But on the movie The Blind Side, Michael Lewis's his weaknesses was again that thinking, where the reasoning, logic and reasoning. And so we all know, I don't have to break it down. I don't have time to break down logic and reasoning and the processing and those things. And so I'm saying this. We see what's happening in the news. This is real time, what's going on, what we're seeing with Michael Lewis. He's stating that he was taken advantage of. He said he just found out 6 months ago. The people that he trusted, he thought that he was adopted. He signed papers when he turned 18, an adult. Couldn't do it before, but at 18, he signed papers under the assumption that he was being adopted by this family. Found out 6 months ago. What is he, 37 years old now? He's 37. He signed these documents when he was 18. Almost 20 years went by. He thought he was being adopted, but it was actually a conservatorship. Now, we know about conservatorships because we heard about Britney Spears and everything with her father and all. And look at all of this that's still going on with Britney Spears, and all of this. And that's a different disorder. But what I'm saying now, and I'm just being very transparent, as a human being first, then as a theorist, if you know someone that may have some of these symptoms, whether it's severe or it's just slightly, because these come in different type of levels. It can be the beginning stages, or it can be actually severe. But if you know someone, if it's you with ADD, ADHD, or hyperfocus disorder, or a combination of two, and if there's someone or someone's who is genuinely They genuinely love you. They're genuinely in your corner. It doesn't always have to be a parent or a sibling. But if you know that there's someone who's genuine in your life and they are genuinely trying to help you become the best version of you, yeah, you may get a little offended if someone suggests, you know, maybe you should go and seek, or maybe go and invest in therapy to help, maybe help you with your memory, the memory, and how you can strengthen that. And trust me, there are things out there. Now, I'm a huge advocate of Learning RX. Learning RX is a corporation that's been around for a number of years, and they will test you. You got to pay a small amount of money, a couple of $100, and it'll give you a brain test, a neurological test. It'll tell you the strengths and weaknesses in your brain, and you don't even have to have a disorder. A lot of doctors, lawyers, politicians, they go to Learning RX to help keep their mind sharp. Judges, different people like that, and to practice the exercises and the different strategies that they give at Learning RX to help keep their brain sharp. But Learning RX was organized for people with neuro type of neurological or type of disorders or learning disorders. Okay, those type of things. And it was designed. And when I say that it worked, Learning RX, it works and it's affordable. There's another company out there, Dr. Amen. You would think it's Dr. Amen, and you could say that, but it's Dr. Amen. He offers the same thing, but it's on a way more expensive level. You're gonna pay a lot of money if you want to, you want his services. But I can tell you about Learning RX. Look it up. You don't have to have a disorder to go and get those strategies to keep your mind sharp. People that are getting older, they solicit the services because it helps keep their mind fresh and sharp. But I'm gonna go back to what I was saying because my time is really up. If you know someone, or if you yourself are experiencing ADD, ADHD, or hyperfocus, or a combination of it, and if you have, hey Jordan, how you doing, Jordan? If you have people that you can trust that's in your corner, they genuinely love you, and if they're suggesting different things to kind of help you be the best version of you, please don't get offended. Please don't get it. Take a moment, sit back and think about maybe why they're suggesting it for you. The world is filled with people that will commit a wicked and evil act in a minute. And if a person feels like that they can easily persuade, you can become easily, they can easily manipulate you because they feel like you're easily persuaded. Or if they see that there may be something that you're experiencing, like, short memory or something like that. There are a lot of wicked, evil people out there that will attach themselves to someone who may be experiencing some slight disorders just so they can gain whatever they want from them. So I am saying this once again. If you know someone with ADD, ADHD, or hyperfocus disorder, or if that is you that is experiencing these type of symptoms, and if you have someone in your corner, someone in your life that really is there for you. They're not trying to get anything from you. You know it. They're not trying to benefit from you or anything. And if they're making suggestions, so they're giving you certain suggestions to kind of help you be the very best version of yourself, please don't get offended. Because people like that, people like me, I can talk about me. I want whoever's connected to me, and those that know me, Peaches on here, they know me. People who know me personally, they know when I'm in your corner, I want the very best for the people that I'm connected with. And I don't want anything from you. So if you have someone in your life that's like that, and if they're suggesting certain things so you can be the best version of yourself, please do not get an attitude. Don't get offended. Don't cut them off. Sit back, kind of think about it, and try out the suggestions that they're suggesting. Try them out. especially if you know they want nothing but the best from you, you being the best. This world is filled with a lot of wicked, evil people who don't want, if they find that there's something going on with a person, they don't want them to be better because they want to use them and manipulate them. Okay, so Peaches said yes. She said yes. Okay, so this has been Counsel Today with Shanrae. I'm going to move this on. I will see y'all next week for week 4. We're going to have part 1 and part 2. And this month we have 5 weeks. So this is great. All right, we're going to move on to a different subtopic next week. But again, I'm a half glass full type of person. I know that if you put in the work, things can get better. I'm bringing this hyperfocus disorder to awareness this month because there are people, again, that may have seen it or experienced it and may not have known what it is, but now you do. And now you also know that there's help out there and strategies so you can become the very best that you can be. Let me open this up again. Ada Plus Community. I am excited about Ada. Ada is a online community where you can join. It's a support group for people that have ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus disorder, or anything else that's attached to it, dyslexia, different things like that. It's a community where people can talk freely, get advice, get suggestions, help. Again, I told y'all tonight about Learning RX. Learning RX, I stand behind Learning RX, okay? If you have the money, if you want to invest in Dr. Amen, that's top notch. You can do that too. But this is free. Ada, I believe it's free. I'm going to look up, make sure that it is free, but I think it is. Ada Plus Community, a community for ADD, ADHD, hyperfocus, dyslexia, this type of community. And I'm telling you, do it. Reach out to them. All right. The next thing, let's talk about our takeaway. So our takeaway for tonight. Oh, and let me say this. Okay, so this theory tonight was by Dr. Kimberly Holland. All right, Dr. Kimberly Holland. All right, so the takeaway is people with ADHD, ADD, hyperfocus often possess unique perspectives and a tendency to think outside of the box. These qualities can be a real asset to friendships as they present new opportunities in solving problems and learning and trying new things. All right, here's our quote. And our quote, I'm going to keep this quote for the month. You don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting them control you. And this is by Dan Millman. Okay, now, BetterHelp. I love this. If you want a safe space to speak with a licensed professional online, BetterHelp offers affordable counseling sessions for individuals, couples, and family members. www.betterhelp.com. And I am incorporating this. Listen, I felt led to do this. Let me open this really quickly. Okay. So 988 is the crisis helpline, and it says help is available. You can connect with people that you trust if you're struggling. It's okay to share your feelings with them. The 988 Lifeline provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people who are in distress. Prevention and crisis resources for you and for your loved ones. And best practices for professionals in the United States. Okay, so it's a 24/7 help 988 helpline. If someone feels very distressed, if they feel like kind of suicidal, this is the hotline for it. 988. You can actually text them. You can chat with them. Okay, and it's confidential. It's safe. All right, so let's move this along. This is my website. Let me open this up for my fellow counselors and theorists. This is where I got all of my theory from on tonight. There we go. My website theory pages. All right, and so if there is a past Counsel of the Day with Shanrae series that you missed or you just want to rewatch, you can go to my YouTube channel at Shanrae Price. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, and then select any past series that you would like to watch. And I'm going to, last but not least, all right, I am a professional one-on-one counselor. If you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via Facebook Messenger. I'm a degree counselor at Shanrae Owens, or via my email at shanrae.price@gmail.com. I'm a lifestyle strategist. My aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. Listen, I do quick calls. If you just need to talk for 15, 20 minutes, And if you need to maybe some strategies or kind of think out stuff, I do calls. You can call me via Facebook Messenger at my Shanrae Owens, or we can Zoom. I do these things. So, I mean, I can do the quick calls. I can do 15-minute sessions, 20-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions, 45-minute sessions, an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours. I'm gonna give you two. I can give you up to 2 hours. That's it. Depending on the case. But I am a professional one-on-one counselor. Okay, if you want to, if you choose to call me or connect with me. All right. So let me move this along. I forgot to say thank you all. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna see you all next week. Next Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time sharp. And we're going to be on week 4, a different subtopic. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe, guys. All right. So glad. Thank you for joining tonight. Good night, everybody.